Robinson, and I'm here doing Mind Power Mondays with you. I am a real estate investor, just like the rest of you. Some of you might be getting really tired of hearing me say this every Monday, but I'm going to share it just in case some people haven't watched before. I'm a real estate investor. I have done several different strategies, BRRRRs, buy and holds, built a couple of places. Good morning, everyone. And bought some foreclosures, all sorts of different things. We just actually closed on a condo in Abbotsford yesterday, so I'll be heading there after this to work on getting the reno started there, and we're working on building a fourplex over in Nanaimo as well. So I am in the trenches with all of you, learning and growing. Hi everyone. Hi Kathy. Hi Leanna. As everybody knows, I'll just say as well, I'm not great at scrolling on my computer. I don't see the comments come up as the live starts going, and so I'm not great at scrolling. So I will come back and look at all of your comments afterwards. Thank you for everything that you comment while I'm doing this. Anyhow, that's me as a real estate investor, and why I share Mind Power Mondays with you. Super fortunate that Corey and Tiffany invited me here to share with you, because it definitely is part of my passion. I'm a master practitioner in NLP, Neuro-Linguistic Program. Look at those hearts, whoever that is, thank you. Master practitioner NLP, Neuro-Linguistic Programming, and that is the study of the mind, how the mind works. And really it was created by some people who wonder what's the difference between those who achieve excellence in what they do and the rest of the people who are just sort of average or mediocre. And they wanted to bridge that gap and find out that difference, and then really narrow it down to different strategies to help other people replicate that and model those of excellence. So that's where the model came from. It's an incredible model that can be used in so many different ways. We have a family business that I joined back in 2000, so we used it with corporate training, coaching, consulting, and we did work with people one-on-one as well. And yeah, it's just an incredible model to achieve excellence, achieve the success that you're looking to achieve in your life. And I love it. I'm a firm believer in feeling good as you live your life, and so that's a beautiful part of the model for me, is that it allows you to learn skills to feel better, for more at peace, and enjoy your life while you're creating your success. So I'd like to have both, feel good and achieve success. So that's why I'm sharing this with you. Today's, hi Cameron, oh I said, yeah, long time no see. Yes, so what I wanted to share with you today is something that I think is really fun to learn about. It's a little bit different than what I've been sharing up until now. It's about time and how we store time. Because a lot of conflict and a lot of unease can come from this little difference that we each have. So I wanted to share it from you, and as I'm sharing, I'd like you to think about it from the perspective of how do you store time as I describe this, and then also to look at some relationships in your life where maybe there has been some conflict around this, and it can give you a better understanding. So the purpose of me sharing this is because it does create some friction, some frustration in relationships, and that's not going to create the success that you want. And then also when you're feeling frustrated and upset or stressed and all of those things, then you are not enjoying your life as you could, and you're also not able to exude the energy that you want to exude when you're feeling that frustration. So that's why I decided to share this topic with you today. I think it's a fun one. So let's get to it. So, oh, thank you. I love the hearts. I think everyone's starting to learn that about me now, because it's the one thing I can see as I'm talking are the hearts flying across the screen. So thank you for all the love. Okay, so time. The two sort of ways that we store time are in time and through time. And it doesn't really matter. The names don't matter. It's just a matter of you recognizing that there's two different ways. So a person who stores time in time, they're somebody who's really in the moment. They're fully present. Thank you for the love. They are fully present in whatever it is that they're doing. So if you're in a meeting with somebody who's in time, they are there. They're with you. They're listening to what you have to say. They are 100% with you, which is a really beautiful thing when you're having a one-on-one interaction with somebody. So it's an incredible way of being when you're meeting with somebody. As with everything in life, things have pros and cons to them. So an in-time person, the pro is absolutely that you have their full attention. And if you are an in-time person, you are giving people your full attention while you're with them. The downside to being an in-time person is that because you're so in the moment, you're so whatever it is you're doing, you're fully engrossed in that, you're not thinking about where you need to go from here, all of the different things that you need to accomplish in that day, that meeting that you might have in a half an hour or 20 minutes or 5 minutes, oops, that kind of thing. So you are really here in this moment, and in-time people are the ones who are often late for many things. So I'm sure as I say that, you can either know that you're one of those people who typically tends to be late for things, running behind and running through the door 5 minutes late, apologizing for being late, or you're somebody who notices somebody else in your life or some other people in your life who are chronically late for most things. So that is somebody who's in time. And the reason it can create conflict is because others are what's called through time, or store their time through time. And what through time people do, and I have to admit, I'm a through time person, so although I try to share this information in a way that is completely unbiased, I obviously speak through the eyes that I am, or the filters that I have, and I'm a through time person. So a through time person is always kind of thinking about their day out in front of them. So they're thinking about what happened prior to now, they're in the meeting where they are, but they're also thinking about where they need to go from here, constantly aware of the time, aware of the fact that in a few minutes they need to be wrapping up the conversation, because in 10 minutes they need to be walking out the door, because in 20 minutes they have a meeting, that kind of thing. So always thinking this way. So of course, with everything having its pros and cons, the positive of that is through time people are almost always either on time or early for things. And if they're not, they're super, super uncomfortable at the idea of being late. So that's the benefit, is that they're on time. The downside is that they're not 100% present, because as they're sitting here having that conversation, they are outside of themselves thinking about what's coming up next and where they need to be. So when a through time person is meeting with an in time person, the through time person is going to be early and ready, going to be waiting, and the in time person is going to be rushing through the door 10 minutes late or whatever. And there's some frustration and stress that can happen, because often what happens is a through time person gets frustrated and thinks things like, they don't respect my time, all they care about is themselves, they have, it's a lot often around judgment and respect of my time, which doesn't serve you, because when the person comes through the door, number one, they feel the stress. If it's a relationship that's ongoing, they know they're about to walk into you being super unimpressed with the fact that they're late once again. So that creates this huge amount of stress for them. And no matter what you are saying to them, you will be feeding them the energy of what you're thinking, all of the things that I've shared in the past weeks about your thoughts creating how you come across in the world. So if you're frustrated, if you're thinking they have no respect for you, if you're angry with them for being late, no matter what words come out of your mouth, you're going to treat them that way. And it's going to be basically a waste of a meeting, because you're going to be it's not going to be harmonious and a successful meeting. So the reason I want to share this is for you to, number one, be aware of how it is that you store time, because there are ways that you can skills that you can learn to change it, and at different times. So it's appropriate at different times to be, different ways. If you're in a meeting with somebody, it is beneficial to learn how to be present and in the moment, and not so busy looking at your phone and looking at your watch and thinking ahead. That's a benefit to learn that. And if you are somebody who's so fully entrenched in that moment that you aren't able to be on time for things, then it is important to be able to pull yourself away and be aware of time every now and again. So it's always valuable to be able to do both. But the biggest purpose in me sharing this with you today is to notice where it creates conflict in your life, where it creates disharmony, where perhaps you could understand that about somebody and have less judgment and create a more harmonious relationship. because life is about relationships in your business and personally. It's all about relationships, and feeling frustrated isn't helpful. You can learn if somebody's an in-time person and you're a through-time person, show up a few minutes late. It's fine. They're likely not going to be there, and if they are there before you, they're not going to mind because they don't judge things in that way. You can also strategize. So as an example, in my family, my brother and I are both very through time, and my mom is very in time. So as children, we were super lucky. My mom was always there for us, always fully present in whatever. So we definitely reaped the rewards and benefits of having a mom who was available to us in that way. And we had a mom who was late for everything. And so as we got older, I mean, prior to knowing any of this, there was a lot of frustration, and we would get mad and give her a hard time. And yeah, what a shame now that I know this. And as soon as we learned it, it was, you know what I started doing? I started lying to her and telling her brunch was at 10 when really it was at 11. So then I would be comfortable knowing she was going to show up on time, and she would be comfortable being late and arrive, and nobody would be upset with her. So you learn what you need to do based on the people that are around you. But I think that it's really fascinating to understand that we store time differently. Fascinating to figure out how it is that we store time. It gives us a lot of explanation about why are we early for everything? Why are we like that and other people not? And of course, I'm speaking for me. And being able to really honor people for who they are and allow them to be that. In business, it's not appropriate to be late for everything. And so if you're an in-time person, then you want to learn strategies and start using your phone alarm and different things to make it that you're on time. But don't beat yourself up about it. Don't feel bad about it. Know that we're all wired differently. So I'm super curious. I am going to try to scroll. If anybody knows challenges, or I think it's too hard for me to read these. I will read them after. But share with me. Please share with me if you notice from me explaining this, how we store time, if you notice how you store time, and if it's a new awareness for you. And also if you notice if there's anyone else that perhaps there has been conflict with because you didn't understand this difference, and that maybe now it can bring you to a place of less judgment and less frustration and more just honoring people for who they are and planning accordingly based on that. So I'd love to hear. Hopefully this has been a helpful little piece of information. I really do find it, I notice it everywhere I go. And I find it really interesting to notice the different ways that we do things and find ways to work within that so that we can feel good inside. We can create the relationships that we want to create, which therefore means create the success that we want to create, and really feel good and kind and honoring while we do that. So hopefully you enjoyed that. Are you in time or are you through time? And share with me over the week how it goes as you start to notice this. And I look forward to hearing all of your comments, reading them, and I will respond back. We will see you next week on Mind for Money. Have a fabulous week, everyone. Thanks so much.